Hey guys, today I'm going to show you a very brief overview of my conversion process of my bicycle to electric. This is not a tutorial, this is simply an overview of the components I use, the price, and what you're going to expect for this conversion kit that I used. Now the reason for making this video is I have a couple family members who are interested in converting their bicycles to electric, and it's really important to fully understand something before you invest your money into it. And so this video is just going to be a brief overview of this kit and the conversion process. And so yeah, let's get to it. To start things off, this conversion process cost me around $420, which may sound like a lot, and it is a lot of money, but when you think about a new e-bike, it's around $1,500, so it's a pretty good price if you're just looking to convert your old bicycle to electric. And this will have very similar specs to one you'd find like a Rad Power bicycle. And now as far as hand tools go, it's a pretty straightforward, simple plug and play kind of conversion. Tools you'll need will be like a simple Allen wrench, Allen key, a wrench. You'll need probably a file or a grinder depending on your bicycle frame and size. Sometimes you may have to adjust the hole where your rear wheel gets mounted onto the frame. This particular kit didn't quite fit in my frame, so I had to grind the hole out a tad bit bigger, but it wasn't too bad. Overall, I would say you're going to expect around 2 to 3 hours on a conversion process. I've done 2 of them now, so it'll probably only take me an hour and a half the next time around, but I would expect 2 to 3 hours of doing that. And again, simple hand tools, really not too bad. So let me just talk about the components that I use for this conversion process. Most of it came as a kit. So I ordered this rear hub wheel. It's a 1000 watt 48 volt hub motor, and this kit comes with your LCD display, comes with a pedal assist, it comes with your controller. Controller is the brains of the e-bike. That's what tells the motor to spin when you give throttle, stuff like that. Also comes with 2 brake levers, so you can swap out your old ones for these new ones. The only difference is they have an electronic sensor in them, so not only when you press it will you engage your brakes, it will also cut the power to your motors, which is kind of nifty. It does come with a throttle, obviously. It came with a twist throttle. I didn't use that because my bike setup doesn't really work that way. You have your gears, so I ended up opting with a thumb throttle, and that works really good. I also did not go with the pedal assist that they provided in the kit. The one provided in the kit was an all-in-one piece, and it just didn't work well with my bike, and so I opted for buying another one. Basically, it's 2 parts. It has a magnetic piece that bolts in with your pedal and turns with it, sorry. And then it has a magnetic sensor that goes onto the bicycle frame. That just keeps things separate and works well for my bicycle. So really depends your bicycle, what you can do. There's many pedal assist sensors out there. You can just simply buy a new one and plug and play. As far as the specs go for this bicycle, I've only done a range test using just the throttle, and overall I was really impressed. I averaged about 18 to 20 miles of range using only throttle, and that was through the backwoods of my hometown, so really hilly, dirt roads, paved roads. I was pretty impressed with it. And that's pretty typical for an e-bike with this size battery, a 14 amp hour battery. Another thing I forgot to mention is the charging system. I bought a 2 amp charger for this battery, and you're going to expect it to charge fully in around 6 to 7 hours. Just think 14 amp hours divided by 2 amp charger, it's around 7 hours. This battery is capable of charging up to 5 amps, so if you wanted to plunk down some more money and buy a heavy duty charger, you could charge it in as little as 2 to 3 hours. But it really depends on how much money you're willing to spend. 2 amp charger are relatively cheap, like 20 bucks, so that's what I opted to go for. I'm not going to be doing a whole lot of riding, so overnight charge works perfect. Now also for this setup, you see I have a rear rack here. I bought that separately. Different e-bikes are mounted different ways. Some people put their battery under here, mount the controller up here. You know, really there's many ways to do it. I just opted to get a simple rack. They're pretty cheap. It just bolts right onto your frame. If I were to buy another one, I would definitely get the one that bolts on here and has beams that bolt onto your frame. That prevents the sway. This one sways quite a bit, unfortunately. My dad's bike, he had the one with the sway bars, and it helps a lot. So I would definitely get that. That way you can just put your bag. In this bag is the battery and controller. Here's the controller right here. Rated for 20 amps, which is good for the motor and battery. And then the battery sits right in here. It's a pretty good sized battery. It's made up of, it's a lithium battery made up of 18 650 cells, similar to that of Tesla batteries. They're just little, look like AA batteries. And there's 13 cells in series and 5 cells in parallel. So it's like a big chunk of a battery, but it fits nicely in here. All the wires get run right into here, mounted onto the frame. As far as the LCD display goes, it's quite handy actually. It's small but packs a lot of information. There's different settings. I obviously converted mine to miles per hour, but you can go metric and do that. It'll display your voltage, how much your battery is reading. A full charge battery will be around 54.6 volts, and it'll cut off low voltage around the calculation, so like 42-ish, but mine cut out for me around 43, so it's about where it should be. That's the low voltage cutoff. And so it displays your voltage, it displays how fast you're going, it'll display the range for one trip, your total trip, time for one trip, your total trip, which is pretty neat. It lights up, so you can ride at night. You can buy lights for it to ride at night as well. And that mounts on the left handlebar right next to my left shifter. So if I'm using pedal assist, I can easily use my thumb, increase the pedal assist strength. So when I'm going up a hill, I can put it in the 5th gear, and that'll help me shoot up a hill in pedal assist. Or when I'm pedaling normal on a flat ground, I can put it in 1 or 2 and it'll help me out just a little bit when pedaling. Or I could pedal normal or just use full throttle. The throttle's on the right handlebar onto the left side of the shifter, and I can just use a full throttle if I wanted to. So like I said, I get about 18-20 miles range on just the throttle. I would expect another 5 miles or so using pedal assist, which is ample range, I would say. And yeah, as far as the motor goes, this simply comes as the new motor, new wheel, new rim. You take the old wheel out, put the new one in. You can exchange treads to have your original tread back on this. Well, that's just more work, and I opted for leaving everything as a single unit. So you pop your old wheel out, put your new wheel in. You may have to grind down the wheel, the mounting bracket a little bit. The axle for this new hub motor was a bit thicker, that didn't quite fit inside the slot on my frame. I just ground that out a bit and it fits good. So once your new wheel's in, then you can toss on your throttle, your LCD display, run the wires down, and plug everything into your controller, which then plugs into your battery. And then you can install pedal assist down here if you would like. If not, my dad doesn't have one. You just use a throttle and pedal. You can do a balancing act, whichever you want to do. And then everything runs right in here. Control the battery. The battery has, this is how it connects to the battery. It has a discharge and a charge. There's no balance connectors, as there is a battery management system built into the battery to keep it from overcharging and undercharging, which is awesome. So yeah, that's pretty much the whole system. Cost me around $420. Took a couple hours to charge. Overall, I'm super pleased with my bike. It's a lot of fun, and I hope you guys decide to convert your bicycle as well.